Hi, my name is Jordan Kincheloe, and today I'm going to be doing my oral presentation on nightmares. I know what you're thinking, Jordan, what are you doing in bed? This is a school project. I thought, what better way to educate you on nightmares than where they actually take place, which is in bed. I'm also wearing my pajamas just to set the mood of this conversation. One thing I want to keep in mind about this oral presentation is that I am focusing particularly on nightmares in adults. A lot of people know that kids have nightmares, and that is totally normal, and a lot of the things I will be discussing today can be helpful and beneficial if your child is experiencing a nightmare or night terror. However, I'm going to be specifically focusing on nightmares in adults. With that being said, I just want to clarify what a nightmare is. And so I'm going to be reading off what the Mayo Clinic says a nightmare is. Just to quote them, I think that they're a very credible source. They say a nightmare is a frightening dream, usually during REM sleep, that are normal and common in children under 10 and can also affect teens and adults. So like I said before, we are focusing on nightmares in adults. However, children do have them and they are normal. I would say they are less normal for adults to have them. However, we still do. I am an adult who does struggle with chronic nightmares and night terrors. I do have them anywhere from 3 to 5 nights a week, and it can be very stressful. It can cause a lot of anxiety, but it can also be caused by anxiety. So today we're going to be talking about what can cause nightmares, things that you can do to prevent them, and even some physical tools that you can use to help you or a loved one if you guys are suffering from nightmares and night terrors. While there is no for sure reason or cause for nightmares, a lot of people experience nightmares after going through some sort of trauma or possibly an accident, maybe an injury that left them hurt either mentally or physically. A lot of people can experience nightmares after either physical or sexual abuse. However, even if you have not experienced any of the things I've just listed or have any of the sleeping conditions that I mentioned, you can still have nightmares just as anyone else. So even though there are causes for nightmares, it may not always be your cause or it may not always make sense. Everyday Health magazine actually states on their website that some people believe that a dream or nightmare about death can actually represent a new beginning coming into your life. However, most people seem to believe that dreams and nightmares are just a coincidence and they have no real effect or meaning on your real everyday life. No matter what your cause is for having nightmares, or maybe you're still trying to figure out what your cause is for having a nightmare, I think that everyone can agree that they are no fun and they can be extremely terrifying. Not only can they be terrifying, but for me personally, they can be exhausting. I know that it might sound silly, but in my experience, I will have a full 8 hours worth of sleep, the recommended amount of time that you should rest every night, and it will be so full of nightmares, or maybe a nightmare so horrible that I wake up in the morning and I feel like I didn't rest at all. I feel like I need to go back for another full night's sleep after experience what I saw while sleeping and dreaming. While there is nothing that you can do to stop a nightmare in the middle of it happening, I do think that I have some helpful tips that I found while researching, and I can't wait to share those with you next. My first tip is to stop drinking alcohol before bed. Alcohol can cause you to get a not so great night of sleep by causing insomnia and sleep disruptions. Alright, the next thing that we're going to look to avoid is sodas and sugary drinks before bed. Especially sodas, they have so much caffeine, they can keep us from falling asleep and cause insomnia, and it's just not what we want to drink or consume before bed. So it may not be the most appealing, but water is definitely going to be the best choice of beverage to drink before you go to bed. The next thing to consider using if you are struggling with nightmares is dietary supplement sleep aids. Now, there are medicines and pills that your doctor can prescribe to you if you have chronic enough nightmares. However, these are things you can pick up at your local drugstore. These are just supplements that may help with your sleep. Most of them say that they will help you fall asleep faster and wake up without grogginess. However, the most popular of all of the dietary supplements for sleep improvement is melatonin. This is because melatonin is an all natural supplement. The next thing might either seem stupid or obvious, but stop watching scary things before bed, and here is why. Some other tools that might help you with your nightmares is to establish a good and healthy nighttime routine that you follow every single night or every night that you can. That means having a set schedule of things that you do before you go to bed every night. That way you're kind of in a pattern and your body gets used to what you're doing. Try to go to bed around the same time and wake up at the same time every single day. As far as physical tools go, I actually have found two things that really work for me. The first thing is this 12-pound weighted blanket. I know it's a little hard to show and it's very heavy. Not very heavy, but it's heavy for a blanket. This, you just lay it over your body when you're sleeping at night, and this just helps you to get a better night's sleep because it feels like you have weight on you. It feels very heavy on your body, and it just almost makes you feel more grounded to the bed. I actually have a pro tip about this, and that is instead of laying this under your regular blankets, lay it on top of your regular blankets. Then you still feel the soft and cozy warmth of your normal sheets and comforter, but you just have the added weight to it without your blanket shifting on your body throughout the night. The next product I have is actually very similar to the first one, and this is a weighted eye mask. So very similar to the concept of the blanket. However, this is just an eye mask. So it might be a little hard for me to show you while sitting up. However, what you would do with this is just place this over your eyes and use the Velcro in the back to attach this to the back of your head. That way, when your head is back and you are resting, you just get a deeper sense of relaxation. And once again, you just feel grounded into your bed and you get a deeper sleep. Something else that might help you with your nightmares is finding someone that you can talk to and confide in about them. Sometimes it feels like nightmares are just yours to deal with, and although there's not much someone else can do about them, you can find someone that will listen to you and let you speak to them about how it may be causing you stress or anxiety, and maybe they can help you and just check up on you from time to time. Just lend a listening ear. Another thing that might help is journaling about your nightmares and rewriting the ending to be positive. The last tool I have for you to try if you are experiencing nightmares is to try a white noise machine. Even if you don't have a white noise machine, or if you don't want to spend the money on going to get a white noise machine, these days you can easily look up on YouTube white noise and several other noises. Actually, if you prefer rainwater or any noise in particular, these days you can pretty much YouTube it and listen to it for free and listen to it until you fall asleep. Lastly, I just want to say, if your nightmares become too much to bear, if they are too much for you to deal with, and none of these tools seem to be working, I highly encourage you to go talk to your doctor or perhaps a therapist so that you guys can come up with a plan, maybe schedule a sleep study or put you on some sort of prescription medication in order for you to be getting a better night's rest. At the end of the day, you are what is most important to yourself, and you have to take care of yourself. So even if it may sound silly to go to a therapist as an adult because you have nightmares, it happens to a lot more people than you think, and it's nothing to be embarrassed of. And don't forget to always talk to your doctor before taking any prescription medication or supplements. Sources are mayoclinic.com and everydayhealth.com.